Metadata utility, adding movie information, automated. For the main switchboard, click on Enter/View Information Switchboard, followed by clicking on Metadata Utility Switchboard, followed by clicking on Metadata Utility to launch the main application. Once there, as we mentioned before, to start any process, to add movie information, update movie information, we always recommend our users start from the top, start from search. In this particular example, we're going to search for Backdraft. Once that we enter Backdraft 2 and hit enter, Metadata Utility will search the entire application, and if the record is found, it will go to that record. But in this particular case, because we know that we don't have that record added, we're going to get a message in which Metadata Utility will say that the particular movie, particularly this example, Backdraft 2, was not found. In this particular example, since it's the automated way to add movie information, we're going to be selecting the answer yes to add the movie information, or search for the movie information and download it directly, automatically to Metadata Utility. It's also worth noting that if users don't want to start from the search menu and they want to just go directly to the search online tool and download the movie information, they can also go into the main switchboard as we have here, and instead of selecting the first top option in Metadata Utility to launch the main application, alternatively it can be selected the second option to open directly the online search tool. In either case, whether it's through starting the search with the main application or the online search tool, the search tool will be opened. The benefit of using the main application is that if we go through the fully automated process as we just described, we type the actual name of the movie and the movie is obviously not found, we will get the message as we just mentioned again, and if we say yes, then the online search tool will be opened as we see here, and the title of the movie will be pre-entered on the search field. Therefore, only that is needed is just to click on search and the process will begin. If we went directly to the Metadata Utility online search tool, obviously we would have to type the search field, as it will be empty if we open that directly. In any case, once that search is clicked, then the Metadata Utility will start searching for the available records. As we see here on the top title, we see the movie that's being searched. In this particular case, 2 records are found online. And once that process is completed, then the records will be shown. We have the option to either click on the select label, as we see here marked, to select all records at once, and we would get a message indicating this particular example. There are 2 available records. Do we want to select them all? We can select yes. And in this particular case, then we will get a confirmation message that 2 records have been selected. to unselect all the records that we have selected at once, we can click on the ID top field, and similarly, once that is clicked, we will get another message asking to confirm if we want to unselect records. For this particular example, if we say yes, then we will get a confirmation message that 2 records have been selected or unselected. For those users that actually have searched, let's say we have searched here more movies instead of just only Backdraft, then we may granularly want to just select the appropriate records that we want to download. Therefore, it's also possible for users to just select on those records one at a time, and once that has been completed, either clicking on select all or selecting the appropriate records. Once that is completed, then simply click on the upload button that is next to the close button, from which we will get a pre-confirmation message. We have, in this particular example, we have actually searched for 3 records total. It indicates of the 3 selected records available to add to the library, we have 1, and Metadata Utility shows in this particular example records already existing. Of the 3 records that we selected already existing on the database, we have 2. Therefore, Metadata Utility makes the process very easy for users, meaning that a user does not necessarily have to know, do I have this movie? Have I downloaded this movie already? I don't know. If we search for many movies, let's say we just got a bunch of movies, we just downloaded a bunch of movies online, we purchased a large number of DVDs, and so we have not downloaded just 3 records, we've downloaded 30, 40, 50 records, and so it's very difficult to remember what we did. This particular case, Metadata Utility makes it very easy to users. Simply search for the records, download them, either select them all or select the appropriate records that you know that you want to add. Click Add. Metadata Utility does the rest. Checks the records that you have already existing on your Windows Media Center movie library. It checks already the records that you already have in your metadata existing library, and it tells us you. In this particular example, to make it easier for this particular example, we only search for 3 records total, and it's telling us you have only 1 available record to add, and 2 of the 3 records that you selected are already existing on your movie library. So it is asking, do you want to add that single record? You can say yes, no, or cancel. In this particular case, we're going to say yes. And as soon as we click on yes, we're going to be greeted by the next confirmation message that would tell us 1 record has been added to the library, and Metadata Utility will prompt, do you want to go to the last upload queue, which is the last online search queue, which we have a separate video on, in which we describe each of the particular queues that Metadata Utility has. And in this particular case, the last upload or the last online search queue is the actual queue where all the records that we just recently searched and downloaded are flagged and placed on that particular queue. So for this example, if we have searched for 30 movies and we just added 30 movies, we don't have to go back to the main application and start searching 1 movie at a time. We just go to the last upload queue and all those 30 movies will be shown. So in this particular case, we're going to say yes, or we're going to land on the last online search queue. And as we see here, on the top of the title, we see Metadata Utility Last Online Search. And we can see very easily the movie Backdraft that we just searched, that it's found And alternatively, if we actually had said no on the message to go to the last online search queue, we just wanted to search manually, then we can actually go back to the main application, search for the movie, in this particular case is Backdraft, and again, Metadata Utility will search it because we just downloaded the information, it will be shown. As we see here, the movie has been downloaded to Metadata Utility and has landed in what is called the pending records queue. So we have this separate video that talks about the pending records queue. In this particular case, pending records queue means the data has been pre-downloaded, but it has yet to be synced with Windows Media Center. That is the reason why we see here some missing data as the title supplemental, VMC ID, WMC ID, the linked record ID is missing, as well as XML ID, CHK, Path Builder, 1, 2, and 3 values are missing. This is by design because we are in the process to tell and select in Metadata Utility which title we want to actually display in Windows Media Center exactly as we want it. And this is the time also to what is called run a quality review check. Since the movie detailed information is downloaded online, and when we're using one of the online search providers such as IMDb or the movie database, those are social online available websites that actually gather large databases for movie information. So it's open that they may have errors. As we download, we may see that a character has been downloaded with its strange character, which is typical when we have particularly user last names that do not comply with the standard English alphabet. And so when the movie information is downloaded, Windows doesn't know what to do with that character that is not typical, and so we see this error. Or it could be that it was actually typed wrong at the beginning. We always encourage users to go and troubleshoot, and those smaller errors to correct them, meaning place the record and edit, and make the appropriate corrections as necessary. Once that has been completed, then the record will be ready for synchronization with Windows Media Center. In this particular zoomed out version, we're highlighting the small error that we saw after we downloaded, for this particular case, the information for the movie from James Bond from the Living Daylights. It's worth to note that Windows Media Center has some limitations as to how it manages movies, and that has to do with the architectural design of the application itself. Particularly XML information always is very, very picky as to the formatting of the data that it contains. So in some cases, if errors, as we see in this example here, we have in this particular example only one error. If this error, or if we have multiple errors, if those errors are not corrected, and we just generate the XML data to synchronize with Windows Media Center, it is possible that when Windows Media Center is launched, it may not be able to read that information and will simply throw an error, or the movie will not show the metadata information, meaning that we downloaded the information, we synchronized it with Windows Media Center, we launched Windows Media Center after the synchronization, and we see, but the movie is not being shown, or the movie detail information is not being shown, the movie cover art is not being shown, and in 100% of our cases is due to these small errors that were not corrected. And this has to do with how Windows Media Center reads the metadata information. XML is very, very picky as to the formatting. And many users have been quick to label that as limitations, which from this particular point of view, we could be labeled as a limitation, that if it's not properly formatted, the data will not be shown properly. So we always recommend users, after downloading information, check it, make sure that it actually is readable, and after doing that visual inspection, sync it with Windows Media Center and look at their completed synchronized movie information as we see here. For more information on either this topic or any of the other detailed topics that we have information of, we welcome of our users to either click on any of our other videos that we have available or visit us directly at our website at metadatautility.com, where we have detailed step-by-step instructions how to search movie. We have troubleshooting sections, we have how-to sections, we have setup instructions, we have detailed information on not only this, but many of the other topics of the capabilities and features that Metadata Utility offers for synchronization of the Windows Media Center movie library. So we welcome of our users to click on our videos or visit us at metadatautility.com for more details. Thank you for watching.